In this episode, dramatic backstories, pit bulls, and dad's shriveled up titties.
Welcome back to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. I'm Richard.
Thanks for making that edit hard. And I'm Noah.
And the Peanut Gallery is right over here. You might hear him giggling in the background.
Guest star of eventual videos that will be coming out.
Yes. Our soon-to-be editor for all of our live stuff.
Hopefully. Well, I was going to say cameraman
insert stuff.
For the road.
Oh yeah, cameraman for the road trip. Yeah,
the road trip. You'll make an appearance if you want to.
So,
it's my little brother.
Little is a bit corny. Though.
I'm going to shut the up, Peanut Gallery. We're gonna have to restart this one too.
So, I asked Noah, we're gonna pause before we jump into Marineford, which will be a different video coming in the future. I am going to do an Amazon Lily deep dive, chapters 514 to 524.
Yep.
And the reason I'm going to do this is as I was reading all of the comments on our last video, which was part Impress Down and part the beginning of Marineford.
Impel.
Impel Down. I said Impress. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Impel.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Impel Down.
It was Amazon. It was part Amazon Lily, part Impel Down, and a teeny bit of Marineford.
Yeah,
is what I put at the beginning of it.
And I thought that we had covered it fairly well, and I thought you covered it very well. In fact, I went back and I watched that section because you really had a lot to say about Amazon Lily.
Yeah.
And it was all good. And in the comments, I kept reading comments like, you guys didn't cover this, and you guys didn't say that, you guys didn't say this, and I know why I didn't, but I thought you did a great job of it. So, so there's a couple of reasons why I kind of glazed over Amazon Lily. One was speed. Two, I really kind of looked at Amazon Lily as just a plot device to move Luffy from one section of the story to another. So far, that was really Boa's job. Get him to where he needed to go. Whether she does anything else in the rest of the story, I don't know, but I don't see that she's needed to do anything significant.
It also got one of the 7 warlords out. I mentioned this comment.
Yeah.
It gets one of the 7 warlords out of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we don't need to... Luffy doesn't need to fight another warlord.
Right. This one,
so Oda being a little sneaky and going like, well, I've already got one that has to fight Zoro. I've got, 2 that have been defeated by Luffy already.
Right.
That leaves me with 4. Well, let's knock another one out real quick.
Well, and unless he does something to really seriously piss her off, that's not going to be an issue. Right. So here's the other thing. We did some emotional deep dives with Nami and her backstory, with Robin and her backstory, with losing the Mary, with I mean I didn't really want to bother with another emotional. I've had an abused childhood. Look at the problems it's caused.
Dark
childhood, right? But apparently, a lot of you were really annoyed that I didn't cover that. I mean, like really annoyed. And so I asked myself, okay, maybe we should go back and I should deep dive it and share with you my thoughts that I didn't really share when we did our discussion of it the first time. So
it's your fault that we aren't getting Marineford sooner. Just remember that.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying it, and you can direct all your frustration with that comment towards me.
I kind of feel like I owe it to the people who are following us. They very clearly wanted it.
Yeah.
And so, but there's
I was
good.
half joking.
I know. There's good that came out of this. There's really good that came out of this because I sat down and reread this and did a page-by-page note-taking deep dive on this.
Yeah.
I realized how much I haven't been doing this with maybe the last 100 chapters.
Okay.
Because I've been feeling pressure with just school and everything else going on. And I thought to myself, okay, it felt so good when I got done with these notes. Then I said, I've got to slow down and I've got to do Marineford this way. I've got to do. I think we left
I
off.
think you really need to
550.
We did leave
right?
off at 550, kind of.
So I'm going to, starting tomorrow, really slow down and deep dive chapters 550 to 594. That's a chunk of story.
It's a big chunk of story.
But I think the video will be that much better. And everybody has assured me, take my time and go through this. So, Mia.
So it's your fault that Marineford is delayed. Okay, I'm done.
This is my mea culpa. This is my I'm sorry. This is my let me give you what, I probably should have said. All right. Man. I did not see that coming. All right.
I'm having fun, because I don't know what we're talking about. So.
When we got to the end of Marineford, I had forgotten that the Rosy Life riders promised to guard the Sunny. So when I went back and I started this, I actually saw the page where they
said that
they said that they would.
Yeah.
I had just forgotten. Right, I thought that was a really cool point because I said it somewhere in the video.
Yeah.
That I was concerned about
about
the Sunny
who was going to guard it. Yeah.
So I had this question. Kuma tells Luffy, "I'm never going to see you again," before he swats him, or something to that effect.
We will never meet again.
We will never meet again. And I thought that. I just
the update finished.
I didn't see it for what it would be. Kuma must have known he was already going through the process of allowing Vegapunk to pretty much make him a robot. He was losing his humanity. That process would be completed by the time he got through that. You're smiling. You're laughing. Yes? No? What? Hiding something. It didn't dawn on me that might be the case. That the we'll never meet again would be Kuma's observation about what's going on in his life, not anything that's happening between the two of them. So, I mean... Right.
Yeah, on a first read, that would not... I don't think that occurred to anyone on a first read.
Right, yeah.
I don't think that occurred to anyone.
Now, what happens when, it moves forward from here, I have no clue, but just... So this trip through made me rethink that comment from a different perspective.
Okay.
Did Kuma send Luffy to Amazon Lily for Luffy? Or for Boa? Or for both?
That is a great question.
Okay. So
one I don't have an answer to.
Okay.
That is a great question.
Because there was a purpose of sending him there.
I would say at this point, since you've read a tiny bit forward, but you've really seen where most of the straw hats have ended up.
Oh, I have. I've seen all of it.
I made this observation in the video. Once as an anomaly, twice as a coincidence, 3 times as a pattern.
Right.
Kuma is sending the straw hats where they need to go.
Well,
I think you're starting to pick that up.
I think I was picking it up with everybody but Luffy.
That is fair.
Right, but the one that surprised me, the one that truly surprised me, was where Zoro ended up. Okay, and I'm really mad at myself for not being able to guess that, because I should have been able to guess that. Had I sat and thought about it and invested the mental energy in asking, what do we know about Zoro and his goal?
Expecting yourself to be able to predict all these different things, there's a lot that it's easy to go back and say, oh, I should have seen this was so obvious, but this, you're kind of somewhat experiencing already a reread. By going back and deep diving this, you're kind of doing a reread.
I am doing a reread,
like a serious reread after having read ahead in Marineford. So now you're seeing kind of the follow through. So now you're seeing where the seed was planted and then bore fruit later on.
Well, and the other thing is, I'm seeing, experiencing just a little bit what anyone who read chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
Buy it on Saturday, go home and read it, and then you have Sunday through Friday to pour over it.
Yeah.
And then you might pick up more of these things. But their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th reread might have been in 1 week.
Yeah.
That's
so there's entire channels that are just like analyzing page by page what's going on, and Something big just happened too, and it's hilarious.
You know,
so,
did you notice that Marguerite is wearing Sir Hiss from Robin Hood on her shoulder?
So is this one.
That is Sir Hiss.
It is.
That is Disney's Sir Hiss. That is a hat tip to Robin Hood.
Yeah. And Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Because that's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, it's pretty
snake.
much the same.
It's basically
same
the
snake,
same
yeah.
snake. I mean, Little John and Baloo.
Yeah.
Might as well be.
Might as well be the same character. They're both Phil Harris, aren't they?
I think.
Did Phil Harris?
I don't
Phil
remember.
Harris voiced Baloo. Did Phil Harris voice Little John?
Maybe. I loved Little John. I loved Robin Hood. That was like my favorite Disney movie.
Robin
as
Hood
a
was
kid.
fun. Robin Hood and Little John walking
through
through the forest. I didn't appreciate the first trip through that the healer in Amazon Lily is named Belladonna. the deadly nightshade plant.
Yeah,
I thought.
yeah.
I think it like sort of registered somewhere, but I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. And this time too, I thought that's hysterical,
isn't it? Yeah.
That is really funny. Those greedy. There's a line that I read. Those greedy, foolish creatures called men have no place in Amazon Lily paradise. Right?
Yeah.
Oddly,
it's
in this land of women, they have gladiatorial style combat, like men do.
It's. I
Like-
would think of like the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Themyscira.
Yeah, no.
It's very much
I
based
get
on
that.
that. Yeah.
Except, what's the difference? If you're fighting each other in an arena for the entertainment of other people, what the hell's the difference? How is that better than men doing it?
I don't know. It could just be like a glorified UFC ring.
All I'm saying is
That's the modern day.
It doesn't show anything superior. It's as base and instinct as any guy will have. That's all. That's my thought when I reread it. Okay. Marguerite shows great kindness making Luffy clothes. It's absolutely hysterical that it had frills and flowers.
I know. I love the frills and
it
flowers.
was-
Why he got rid of? I was kind of mad. I was like, she put so much work into that. You should be grateful. Legitimately, I'm like, Luffy, I don't care. Wear that shit.
Well,
at least for right now.
he gets chewed out for being upset by it. They say
Yeah.
your words and actions prove you lack any decency at all. Right? Then they threatened to kill him.
The eloquence of these statements.
See, so it's like
Such floral language for I'm gonna slit your throat.
yeah. They threaten to kill him. He kicks his way through the roof. That was pretty cool. That was kind of like reminiscent of bringing the roof down in Arlong Park, where the foot comes all the way up and comes slamming down, and he gets out like that. And then in his escape, he motorboats Elefandra. Which is. I'll show you the picture, dude. It's in there. It's hysterical. This is Oda going, from high art and fashion to just make the teenage boys giggle and then go back to.
Yes, no, 100%, because these are aimed at a teenage audience, and Oda is notorious for
doing stuff
for
like
being
that.
the pervert.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start putting Pork Chops, Rice and Peaches is filmed in front of a live studio audience. We've had
a live audience the last 3 videos.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start putting that with how much you're interacting with everyone off camera.
Wouldn't it be
really funny?
Wouldn't it be so cool if we could actually do that?
I think if we ever get invited to a convention, that if we ever get a panel at a convention, that we just make the panel a live
stream.
Well, no, not a
live
live
feed?
stream, but a live recording. Like
that'd be great.
we're going to talk about this in front of you guys, and then we're going to do our Q&A.
Oh, that would be.
I think if
so
we
cool.
ever got to that point, that would be.
That'd be funny.
But we need more subscribers if we're going to do that. So you know what to do. Anyway,
shameless plug for our. Yeah. Oh man, in front of
a live audience,
that'd be a hoot.
That could be fun.
That would be so much fun. Luffy, so you get the Family Jewels running gag. We talked about that before.
It's funny,
It was pretty funny. Luffy makes the observation to Marguerite, it seems all that I do is thank you. Is there anything that I can do for you? Mm-hmm. That is a very genuine Luffy moment.
It is a very, yes.
excuse me, he very clearly likes Marguerite.
Yes.
I'm just...
Once again, Luffy being Luffy can kind of hone in on, are you a good person, are you not a good person?
And he hones in on the fact that she is, which is very important to what takes place in just a little bit.
Yeah.
She tells him that if she spends any more time with him, she just might get to like him. Which is an interesting comment, because then she tries to kill him.
Yeah.
And then she introduces him to this concept. Actually, she introduces us to this concept of Haki.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't remember reading much about Haki in terms of explaining how it works. We ran across it with Whitebeard, Shanks, and...
Yes.
Right. But I think this is the part of the story that really starts to give a little bit of meat to the bones of Haki.
Yes, it does. It is. And it is very... Well, and then supposedly, in the original Japanese, when Blackbeard is talking about Luffy after he first meets Luffy, he makes a comment about Luffy. And in the Japanese, he says, verbatim, his bounty, something along the lines of like his bounty doesn't match his Haki.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or
that sounds familiar.
Or his bounty doesn't match. In the English, I think it was like his bounty doesn't match his spunk, will, attitude. Insert anything else, because at the time they didn't know what Haki was supposed to be.
Right.
They didn't know they had no reference for it. It was like one of the first times it was introduced. So supposedly, behind there was a mistranslation early on where Haki was supposed to be introduced earlier.
Okay.
It didn't.
It didn't translate.
It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't translate. So until we got to Shanks and Whitebeard, where it was kind of inescapable that Haki had to refer to this power that Shanks was showing.
Right.
That I guess I would assume.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
It is really cool. Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's really.
So we meet Vice Admiral Mamanga, one of the easier Vice Admiral names to say, and I really thought it was cool. It says he jumped into
Apparently, Dad has a hard time with Garp.
Well, I should have said one of the easier admiral names to say it, and I caught. Yeah, I deserved that. I deserved that. I did. I deserved that.
I'm pretty sure in the replay you can see the wheels turning on whether or not I should say it.
One of the easier admiral names to say, because the big three, I can't keep them straight. Garp.
Kizaru, Akiji, and Akiinu.
Yeah, they're just killing me. But jumping inside a Neptunian and killing him from the inside out, that is badass. That just is. I mean, that really is. We're going to get the announcement of the execution of Ace. One of the things that I noticed, as I'm going through this, I kind of give the recap of what's happening in these chapters.
Yes.
And
well, and it helps us to keep on track of what we're talking about.
Did you notice in one of these scenes, and I don't have it on the page, but there's a woman on Amazon Lily laughing, and her laugh is zahahaha. And someone says, what a vulgar laugh. That's almost Blackbeard's laugh. Blackbeard is zihahaha. Right? And so I thought if sometimes... right, if sometimes...
I think that's... I'm trying to imitate it.
Amazon Lily ladies go off and then they quote unquote come back with a baby in their belly. I'm just wondering if that's Blackbeard's kid.
Woof.
That's
a thought.
It just crossed my mind because
that's a thought.
Because sometimes the laughs are just passed down. Kids laugh like their parents do.
Wow, that's a thought. Okay.
Yeah,
it's a thought.
Never crossed that one.
No, never crossed my mind.
I read it and I just went.
Never crossed my mind. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm going to assume that that's not a point worth covering unless bringing Blackbeard's kid into the story is really pertinent to the story, and I can't imagine that. So anyway.
It's a fun observation, though.
It is. Our intro to Boa is her kicking a cat, and we kind of talked about that before, about the cruelty that she shows. But the interesting thing is it's in direct comparison to Helmeppo knocking over the girls' rice balls and stepping on them, and how Zoro treated it, and how Smoker and the girl with the ice cream bump into
Yep.
each other, and she gets ice cream on his pants, and he gives her coins and says, buy more ice cream.
Yeah, buy 5 scoops.
Right, yeah, so you get this very, very quick character comparison.
There's a use of innocence to establish whether a person is good or bad based on how they treat something innocent. In the case of Helmeppo,
Yeah.
it's an innocent little girl who's just trying to help someone who's starving.
Yes.
In the case of Smoker, it's an innocent little girl who didn't look where she was going and accidentally bumped into someone and spilled her food on
Right.
them. In this case, it's what is Boa doing when she's coming across an innocent creature?
She's kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
And throwing a fit about it being there.
Mm-hmm.
And it also made me realize Helmeppo is growing. Helmeppo is changing. We're getting Helmeppo in little bites and chunks, but being away from his father and being with Kobe, he's changing and growing and developing. I'd love to see if anywhere before the end of the story he bumps into a girl with rice balls. Does he handle it differently?
That would be a fantastic callback.
Oda,
That is
call me.
that would be a great thing to see.
If he picked it up and sampled it and said this is really good and said I'm sorry and wouldn't that be cool if they showed that?
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
would be,
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Anyways, that's the thought I had. I thought that would be a fantastic.
But you know what would be more Oda? Where he bumps into her, is a little annoyed, not gonna do anything about it, but is slightly annoyed, and then he gets a death glare from Kobe, and then he does it.
Yeah, I can see that. I like my idea better.
As a character arc, I like your idea.
It would be
as a
more
gag.
satisfying. As a gag, yours
As
would
a
be
gag.
funnier. Yes, it would be. So let's see. We go into Boa Hancock.
That was skin on chair.
I
not-
wasn't commenting on that.
You gave a look.
I knew it was skin on chair.
I said crisscross applesauce like a heathen on a chair.
Oh dear God, he is.
Skin on chair is better than air on chair. And we'll just leave it at that. Someone had to say it. It was hanging there. All
Alright, that's it for this week.
right.
Please stand by.
All right. Wow.
That banana ball game is going to be so much fun.
Woof. So we get her refusing the summons and the demands from the Vice Admiral. We find out that Hancock hates the world government, refuses to obey its orders.
Yep.
Mamanga calls her a spoiled child. How appropriate.
Yeah.
We don't know that yet, but we come to find that out. That she gets away with everything because she's beautiful. And I mentioned this once before. She is not drawn as beautiful as other characters. She has physical beauty.
Yes.
But part of it, I think, is just her lack of kindness is reflected in her face. And I was done taking my notes when I had that thought.
The persistent RBF.
RBF?
Resting bitch face.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The persistent
Yeah.
RBF probably, but no, I think that's intentional.
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
It's
intentional.
got to
Oh, yeah,
be.
most-
It's got to be intentional, and I mean we got the wonderful breakdown in the Impel Down video in our power panel section, breaking down that intro panel where the gray background.
Yes,
It was
yes.
so well done.
Yes.
It was so amazing. It was such a good catch on their part.
We had a.
as an entry. It was amazing.
You remember when we were reading the power panels and you were reading one and you were like, "Oh, I can't finish that one,"
Yeah.
because it's almost a spoiler.
That was fun.
That was pretty funny, and somebody noticed that actually.
Yeah,
They had a comment about that. It was pretty funny.
But yeah, the beauty is. Yeah, I don't think I know a lot of people probably do, but I don't think that Boa is more attractive than other characters in the series in
Yes.
terms of how she's drawn.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
and I think that's intentional. Although I don't know, Oda might just be trying to draw the most beautiful woman in the world. I don't know. If he wanted good husband points, he'd draw his wife, but his wife was a Nami cosplayer, so.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, he can't make any character prettier than Nami because of that. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, we've talked about it
Right.
before.
So Boa stands up to the world government and the Navy, and then right after that, she smashes the clay statue of her made by village children, doubling down on the ungrateful, cruel, spoiled brat, side of it. She does admit that she is afraid to go to war. All right, which is huge. That's a huge admission.
Yeah, that is a huge admission.
She threw Gloriosa out her chamber window. Just chucked the former Empress out the window. How exactly did Gloriosa survive that fall? I mean,
I know a reason why she could have survived that fall, but man, I can't mention it.
Okay, then
It's
don't.
Spoilers.
No, don't.
Nah.
So, we get Luffy jumping down into the princess's chamber from high above because it's sacred, during sacred bath time because important people live in tall buildings. I thought that was hysterical.
It's so Luffy.
Yeah.
It's so Luffy.
Right. He sees her back. He recognizes her tattoo. He survives her love mellow. And then she falls in love with him. Right? Now, that's kind of an oversimplification, but...
Yeah, it's a little
but
bit
that's pretty much right.
simplification.
So you get all the demands. You get Marguerite taking responsibility for bringing Luffy to the city,
Lay down.
which it was such an honest and appropriate and important thing to do. And
No.
studio dogs have
Hey,
visited and they're
Lay down.
dancing around the camp. That's
Zuko.
what I read.
Lay down. Nope. Okay, there we go. All right. I can play down there if they're laying down. You might hear them.
Luffy gets mad that the lady who saved him was turned to stone because Boa shows her level of forgiveness by immediately turning to stone these three ladies that said, "We made a mistake. We're sorry."
Yeah.
And the one punch of the Panther Executioner Bakura, which wasn't surprising, but it was as satisfying the second time as it was the first.
Yeah.
We talked about that. All right.
I wonder if that's supposed to... You were talking about Jungle Book earlier. I'm wondering if that's a Bakura. Reference to Kipling's...
That could be.
Yeah.
That could be. All we needed was a dancing bear.
Yeah, right?
But that was in Gecko Moria Land. Gecko Moria.
There's another one coming up. If you haven't met him already.
So they sing Before the Bear
No.
Necessity.
Stop! Stop it! That's where my feet go.
Forget about
If I put them on the floor.
and your strife.
Don't knock over my camera. It's expensive.
So we get another, peek at the Amazon Lily and Kuja Pirates, and their culture is no better than a male-dominated society. It really isn't. And they make such a big point of there being no men, but I really don't see that they're doing anything a whole lot better. And Luffy just exclaims, "You make me sick."
I think that's something that is because it's very much like the Themyscira, the Amazons from Greek mythology, but it's very similar to plot threads from Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
comics.
I believe it. Well, I've never read those.
Yeah,
my mom
read
them.
Just thinking about
it, but not a lot of them. Oh man, you should have seen the head step.
Yeah,
There's a whiplash there. So
learning things today.
So the only time your grandmother was allowed to read comic books was when she was sick. If she was home from school and she was sick, and it was always Wonder Woman. That's pretty much what I was told about that. Luffy goes out of his way to save the statues. And he makes the comment that he understands what's going on because of the Kiji ice incident with Robin.
Mhm.
They got frozen once, and so he figures we were able to get out of it. They should be able to get out of it. Let's save them.
Yeah.
The whole bit about, and someone asked this in the comments, what did I think of the snake princess looking down on people by leaning her head so far back?
Hey. Okay.
I'm looking down on you so much, my head's all the way back here. It's I never commented on it before because it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a gag. Obviously, it's supposed to be a humorous gag, but it's like the behavior of a 14-year-old drama queen. And I was just like, it didn't play. The humor didn't work with me.
Okay.
And I think a lot of times when people are asking, what did you think of this or that, if I'm not commenting on the humor, it's because the humor didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not the target audience. And so if it doesn't click, even if I know the intent was to be funny, I kind of just gloss over it.
I think the other intent is for Oda to be able to draw boobs from underneath, but that's
He took care of underboob with Sadie. That was great artwork.
I know, right?
Yeah, the sisters show their cruelty by trying to break Marguerite to cause Luffy pain.
Yeah.
That's evil. That is just evil. It's not enough that Marguerite's been turned to stone.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna break her just to hurt this other person. He stops it with a Haki he didn't even know he had.
Yes.
By yelling "Stop!" And then suddenly we get this whole thing of, wait, this is the Haki of the Supreme King. They call him the Chosen One.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's a 1 in a million Haki.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that Luffy still doesn't understand what the heck they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But he defeats the sisters, and then he covers the tattoo on Sandra Sonia's back.
Do you, just out of curiosity, on the Haki topic,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead you down the thought process.
Okay.
Okay.
Lead away.
Okay, we're back.
We're back. Okay.
Okay, I'm leading you down a Haki thing.
Oh yeah,
That's
the Haki
right.
thing. What do I think is happening?
Okay, so what? No. What? Not what do you think is happening? What does happen to the people in the area around?
Well, they all look like they were blown backwards in their seats.
That's one.
Okay.
Okay.
Possibly knocked unconscious
Okay.
in their seats. I suppose with a power that strong, some of them could be killed.
Yeah.
But I don't think Luffy's Haki would do that with innocent people. But there's clearly a third here I'm missing, and I can't think of what it is.
I mean, really. So they get the big ones are they get knocked unconscious,
Right.
to the point where a lot of them are foaming at the mouth. That's the big one.
Yeah, well, that happened on the ship when Shanks and Whitebeard were together. That's
So-
why Shanks walking through Whitebeard's Haki was the big thing. I mean, I remember our talking about that. That was
No, that wasn't Shanks walking through Whitebeard's Haki.
that was Shanks's Haki affecting Whitebeard's crew.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
wow.
Whitebeard scolds him for it. He's like, "You're coming onto my ship.
I'm gonna have to go back and reread
You need
that.
to rein in your Haki."
I'm gonna have to go back and reread that.
Red hair.
I'm gonna have to. Go back
And Shanks is like, "I'm sorry." They even mentioned to one of the other, some of Blackbeard's crew are looking at another member and going, "Hey, you should probably dip out of this one." And then the guy they're talking to gets knocked unconscious, and they're like,
Right.
"Yeah, that's why."
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So,
I'll go back and take a
so
look
if
at
I'm
that.
just gonna connect you a dot between
Right. Where we're going.
No, Shanks and Luffy. I'm just gonna connect a dot because they had the exact same effect.
Okay. I wouldn't have made that connection yet. That would have been a reread connection.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
would've-
know.
that would've been-
That's
yeah.
why I wanted to bring it
Yeah.
up because you've already read it. I wanted
Right,
to make
yeah.
the connection
Okay.
for you. That
No, that's cool.
it's a fun little connection, right there. That you
Yeah,
see.
well, actually, it is. So they're in the middle. What? You look like you have something.
Did I already mention the first time we ever see Haki used? Not mentioned, but used. Did I already tell you about the first time we ever saw Haki used? I think I did, but I might need to refresh this.
Something that I've read that I'm not remembering.
Well, so It's another connection. The first time Haki is ever used, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on camera, but the first time Haki is used in One Piece is chapter 1, and it's when Shanks tells the Beast to leave.
Oh, you know what? I
think I've mentioned that.
No, I don't think you did. If you did, it would have been after the Whitebeard scene.
It would have been after the Whitebeard scene.
It would have been after the Whitebeard scene. I remember talking to you about that on camera, and I remember saying, how powerful is this guy?
Yes.
Yes,
you did.
And
I
either did that when we were covering it in the manga or the live action.
You've been saying it for a while, because every time Shanks shows up, you're like, this is the guy who told a sea monster to
the level of... Okay.
Off.
Yeah, that was Haki. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
First time it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. There's so much to remember. Oh my goodness.
No, there is.
The deeper we go into this, the more I realize how much I've forgotten.
No, that's
yes. That's
no.
yeah.
Yes.
So we're in the end of the battle. Luffy's covering up the tat. We're gonna stop it again. I'm never gonna get through this point. I'll just put a little...
Go get through it.
No, not bad. What are you gonna say?
I was going to point out to you another thing. Do you remember Enel's big superpower?
Enel.
On Sky Island. Eneru.
Oh, Eneru.
You remember Eneru's big power?
Eneru was lightning, wasn't he?
And besides that, the other thing that he could do.
No, I don't.
So he could predict people's movements. To the point where he could tell what was going on everywhere on his island. He could see. He called it his chakra.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I remember that.
Or based something along those lines.
Yeah.
Chakra or mantra.
Mantra.
He
Okay.
called it mantra. But what do the two sisters do in the arena? What does Luffy say?
Oh yeah, they can
them?
predict my moves. So is that just another type of Haki?
Because there's 3 times.
The ability.
There's armament.
Right.
Observation.
Okay.
And then conquerors.
You've told me that once before.
I know. You're going to need to pay attention to that one moving forward. Not quite yet, but you're going to need to know that for the future.
Hang on.
I'm going to make this much easier on you.
Fill time. 3 types.
I'm filling in time. He's going to need to know this, and I know you're going to struggle. Armament.
Observation. And
conquerors.
Now
that's the Supreme King one that you've been noticing.
Okay, so can I safely, or should I safely? Okay, all right.
Do not research that yet. Do not research that.
We've been doing this a while. He knew what I was going to ask.
Do not research that, because
there's a few hundred people screaming at the camera right now. Do not research that.
Do not.
Well, that's why I asked.
I know. Is it good? I am exaggerating for comedic effect.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah. Okay, so Luffy's covering up her tattoo.
Well, it's a one-sided fight. They're trying to kill him. He really doesn't have a beef with them. He's not trying to kill them, and he says so.
No. Yeah,
so
exactly.
When he starts to realize the importance of these tattoos not being seen, he gives up on trying to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
He covers her back and says, "What's on your back has nothing to do with our duel."
Yeah.
That's a huge point.
No, it is huge.
It really is.
And again, it shows Luffy's character.
Well, it does, and Hancock starts crying. And that's the note I hear. And as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, this is the start of him breaking her down, even though she continues with her cruelty. And then because she goes on to the you can either leave the island or save Marguerite routine. To which, we know, and we've talked about this before, without hesitation, he gives up the opportunity to go save his brother. He gives up the opportunity to go reunite with his crew, and he just bows down, says thank you, go ahead and change her back, without hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get him breaking down all of her preconceptions about men. Now, you said in the last video when we talked about this that her first experience in interaction with men was her jailer, her torturer,
The guy who branded her.
The guy who
She
branded
says,
her.
She
That's it.
says as much in when
Yeah.
she says it was the first time I had ever seen a man, and it's the
branding. And so now she has an observation. Now she has a first-hand encounter with someone who's showing that that's not the standard. It's not the norm.
There's there's a lot of implication doing the heavy lifting with Boa's story. It's like Oda is very dances around certain topics, very obviously. Slavery and then the adjacent
I'm gonna
trafficking.
I'm gonna deep dive that here in a little bit because I spent a lot of time on it.
It goes hand in hand with the whole. I made the observation, not to rehash my own words too much, but Boa is very objectified by everyone.
Yeah, her own people.
She's viewed as an object,
right? Yeah,
not
as a person,
of admiration,
right?
You know, if you want to put it nicely, something to be admired, something to be gawked at, something to be lusted over.
Yep.
Not as a human,
right?
And she continues. So even after she escapes,
she's still being basically.
She's still she is still something to be desired.
She's
owned.
She's objectified and owned, but she's not treated like a human being.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And
she's not treated as an individual, as a person.
There's probably one person that does, but she doesn't recognize it for what it is. Gloriosa.
But like I said, even Gloriosa does fall sway to the beautiful charm. So it's very much in that same range as the Vice Admiral, where Boa can recognize that they still fall for her influence. She still has a level of control over them.
Mamanga putting a knife through his hand, which is pretty brutal.
It is pretty brutal.
Yeah,
kind of badass.
He's just bad. I would love to see him fight. I really would. I mean, because they're showing him as
capable, but no better than his soldiers in that regard. You know, at that level.
Well, a little more self-control, a little more self-awareness.
Much more self-awareness. Yeah. Boa doesn't recognize the self-awareness in Gloriosa and Momonga. She just sees the same thing out of everyone else.
Oh, I believe that. So you get the hysterical scene where Luffy busts into her, and you get the full frontal, and he couldn't care less. Why are you naked? And she cries again. And then you get the whole thing about the tat. The hoof of the celestial dragon. A tattoo given to slaves by the world nobles. Luffy's thinking of Hachi's forehead, and we found out that all the people who were freed rebranded the fishmen. They rebranded, and that's why Hachi's brand is different.
Yes.
Taking ownership. And that's a real interesting comment, or an observation rather, coming from the book. And I will tell you that we live in modern society with a very real example of that in everyday America. And that is the claiming of a word and taking ownership of it and using it. And it's remarkable how one culture can do that. So
turn a symbol of oppression into a symbol of
this is now
identity.
Ours, and you can't hurt us with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's a very real, very powerful thing. It's a form of getting your voice back.
Yes.
It's a form of reclaiming your identity. And rebranding yourself. Yep. So, Luffy earns a lot of credibility with Hancock when Gloriosa reads the paper that explains Luffy punched out the celestial dragons at Sabaody. That he stood up to them. That was an important moment of gaining credibility with her.
Yep.
So she realizes he's the real deal. He's not saying things to get an advantage for himself. She's starting to find out who he is.
This is just who he is.
Yeah. And she says, "You struck the celestial dragons?" And then followed up with, "I didn't think such a fool could exist in this world." Which is hysterical.
It
you know?
is. It is really funny.
The celestial dragons only get away with their behavior because the world government supports them. Unless they have a power that I haven't read about yet, or they've got abilities. If everybody stopped supporting them, they'd have no power, would they? Or are we going to learn something new in the future that I don't know about yet? Because if someone's screaming in the town square and you don't like what they're saying, just walk away. And so many people could do that with the celestial dragons. There's my thought.
You're right about the fact that they have the backing of the world government.
Yes. So, I love the awkward pauses. If you think the awkward pauses are funny on camera, you should feel them here as we are talking. Because, there's just like this ice wall that goes up between the two of us.
Plastic and, visibly it gets like
Right.
3 degrees colder.
I'll
right
do this.
here.
I'll do it. Did you need
Right
to?
here.
It's so funny because we were talking a little bit, and I put this in a comment to someone.
Cut this tension with a butter knife.
Yes, when I never know when the look I'm getting is because I'm completely wrong or really close or have nailed it. But when I've really nailed it, I can see it in your eyes. Mm-hmm. There's no hiding it. And you see it on camera, but then we get these moments where it just like, okay.
Sometimes you just come out of nowhere with half the time the really big ones are you're just coming out of nowhere, like you're like formulating it, and then you'll just be like, oh, and then I just pieced it together, and it's like,
well, the interesting thing, like in this video already, I've had 2 or 3 comments that I finally put things together right before the words left my mouth.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
No, the same thing happens with me. All the time too.
So they're abducted, they're sold into slavery, they're marked, horrible things are done to them. It's a 4-year ordeal. They knew despair, and they prayed for death at a very young age. Those girls, that's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
How old are they? Do we ever get their current age?
Yes. I don't know if it's in the manga, but I'm just curious. Piecing together the timetables is going to be way too time-consuming in terms of how old is... Let's just do the easy way. 31. She's 31.
She's 31.
Boa is 31 years old.
So, wow. All right. So this is really... All right. Freed by Fisher Tiger, the fishman leader who hated humans... freed all the slaves regardless of who they were. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Even freed the human slaves. Mm-hmm. If you're a slave, you're free. Then we get the whole rebranding, the recovering the blazing sun, Hachi's mark, the relationship with Arlong. And you and I talked about this a little bit. Hachi may or may not have been a slave, but all the fishermen pirates get the tattoo. All
the fishermen pirates got it, so you couldn't tell who was a slave and who wasn't.
Is that what it is?
I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I can't even remember if it is. I would assume that is the reason, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that correctly. That they all got it.
Fishman gang tattoo is what it is.
Well, yeah, but in your observation earlier, in terms of like. You no longer taking your voice back or whatever, it also makes sure that no one can tell who was
right.
In a ship of pirates where everyone needs to work together. You don't want to be looked down on, whether it's negatively looked down on for you let yourself become a slave, where's your pride, or you also don't want the pity So everyone gets treated equally. Everyone gets the same mark, no matter whether they were a slave or not. I would.
Robin rebranded herself after
Nami.
right? Nami.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
New
And
tattoo.
I was thinking Nami. I was
Yeah.
picturing Nami.
No, I know.
Nami rebranded herself. She got the tat cover.
Yep.
But it was on the healing side of this whole thing. The fishmen get the rebranding. Are the Gorgon sisters going to get a tat cover? Are they going to get to a point where they redo that? I don't know if it's necessary to know that for the story to continue, but that appears to would be the ultimate mark of healing for them, would be getting that tattoo covered. Getting it redesigned, redrawn. It'd be an interesting thing to find out. Oda.
Oda doesn't watch fan things anymore because too many people were getting fan theories close.
Oh yeah,
He had, he had a
vendetta.
vendetta about people trying to predict the end. That for a while there, he would actively rechange the ending of One Piece.
So the girls were force fed the love fruit, the snake fruit by the celestial dragons just for amusement. Now, I'm confused. You got the Sandersonia turns into a snake, and by the way, a snake with boobs and a bikini top is so absurd. It's just hysterical, and would really be painful to slither on the ground when you think about it. I mean, just ouch. But the other sister, so only two of them got a devil fruit?
No. So all three of them got. So this is where.
But the devil fruits can't be the same, right? So what?
In your ever never ending quest to understand the devil fruits.
Yeah,
well,
it's killing me.
There are no longer just simply devil fruits, right?
Right.
Like you're right. There is no two devil fruits are the same, but there are devil fruits that are essentially the same. And the way Oda can get around that is by saying this one is the snake fruit model Cobra, and this is the snake fruit model Python.
Yeah, that's a very Oda thing to do. Okay.
And so you'll get specifically, and I think that's exclusive to help remind you because you did mention this. The three types: the Logia, I got it wrong. The Zoan type devil fruits, the ones that are like
that's animals, right?
Those are animals.
I know that we've talked about this before.
The Zoan type devil fruits, they're the animal types. That's where you get a lot of the models, where it's like it's the snake fruit model.
Gotcha.
Cobra. It's the snake fruit model.
Right.
I'm trying to think if because I'm pretty sure there has been something similar. You know, fish fruit model XYZ. You know, he has the freedom to make it like, oh, this person, transforms into a python, but this one transforms into a cobra. This one transforms into a peregrine falcon. This one transforms into a bald eagle.
But if I know that if I understand the lore, you don't know what you're getting until you actually eat it. So the fact that two sisters turned into a snake,
you don't know that for certain. They have a devil fruit encyclopedia.
Okay.
Where they've got some of the devil fruits recorded.
Okay.
Most people won't until they eat it.
Right.
But you can look into the encyclopedia ahead of time to figure out.
Did Blackbeard know what he was getting with the... It seems like he did. He was hunting for a specific one, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So Zone Logia, and what's the third type?
Paramecia.
That's right. Okay, I'm just going to leave this right here. I was sitting and talking with Mama Peaches about this just the other day, and I was like, I need to deep dive these because I truly don't understand them all.
Mm-hmm. Zoan is animals. Logia is more elements in terms of like Ace is a Logia.
Okay.
So fire, smoker with smoke.
Right.
They're like they become a material substance.
So Luffy is a Logia.
No.
He's a Paramecia?
No, because they can exude it as well. They can create it. So like Ace can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
with the fire. He can shoot the fire. Smoker can shoot the
So Mr.
shoot
3
the
is Logia.
smoke.
With
Yes,
the wax
yeah,
being
with the
able to
wax.
come out,
Wax,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
So well done in the live action. Oh, I can't
We're not-
wait to...
we can't-
no, I know,
we can't
but
start,
I'm just going to say, the casting was perfect, the costume was perfect, the acting was perfect, and the wax, it was so good.
We can't get into it right now. But yes,
Preview
you're right.
of things to come.
But yes, you're right. And then paramecia is basically anything that doesn't fall into those categories.
Paramecia, all others. Okay.
Basically, it's the catch-all for everything else.
Okay.
So, like,
So Luffy's a paramecia.
Luffy's a paramecia because his body became rubber and he stretches, but he doesn't like. He doesn't shoot rubber. He doesn't like. He doesn't stick a finger up and shoot a rubber band, type thing.
You know that. I know.
Actually, I think a lot of the early One Piece stuff is paramecia. I think Buggy's a paramecia. I think Booger.
The chop fruit.
Yeah, I think the Booger is technically also.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one is or not.
Yeah,
that one
I
might
don't
be, but
know.
like the
Okay.
kilo fruit is. There's a lot of those that just kind of don't fall into that category. But yeah. So yeah, to explain long-windedly what the sisters are, they're Zoans
Gotcha.
with different models.
Gotcha.
So they both have a snake fruit, but different types of snake fruit.
Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry.
Exactly.
Lexus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So they've lived this life for years. They want to keep their past a secret.
Yep.
They're living with shame.
Yes.
Okay, they're living with shame. I have a little bit to say about that. We've talked about it once before, but I'm going to revisit it because it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important for two reasons. Three reasons actually. I think the people that thought we dropped the ball on this, or I dropped the ball on this, want to hear me recognize this.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people who live with what I'm going to say about shame who need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a third reason, and I just forgot what it was, so never mind. So Boa asks Luffy if he despises her due to her past.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real telling question.
Yeah.
And it shows insecurity, and
Yes.
it shows all of the damage. He says, "I like you." Or she says, "I like you." He says he hates the celestial dragons. She says, "I like you, and I'll lend you my ship."
Mm-hmm.
Now, shame. Shame is a noun. If I get through this with a dry eye, here's the other reason why I didn't want to cover this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like reliving this. I skipped over this
Yes.
because I'm tired of reliving this. Because I can talk about it without it hurting me,
Yeah.
but it still brings up shit that I just let go of years ago.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to get through this as quickly as I can. Listen carefully or rewind. Shame is a painful emotion caused by the awareness of having done something wrong or foolish. Like I felt shame because I cheated on an exam, or I felt shame because I shoplifted, something like that. A respect for propriety or morality. Have you no shame? Aren't you embarrassed by the behavior that you're exhibiting?
Yeah.
Or a persuasive, negative emotional state, a pervasive, not persuasive, a pervasive negative emotional state, usually originating in childhood, marked by a chronic self-reproach and a sense of personal failure. This is exhibited by people who live with trauma because they blame themselves for things that they are not responsible for.
Yes.
Things done to them, but they grow up feeling it's somehow their fault.
Yes.
So, what I would say to a person sitting at the table, if I was having a conversation with someone who is sitting right there talking about the trauma of their childhood, is this. I'll say this about Boa. Boa and her sisters don't realize that they are 100% not guilty for what was done to them. They don't realize that.
No.
The celestial dragons are 100% guilty for what they did to her. She is mistakenly feeling this pervasive negative emotional state this shame originating from childhood and marked by chronic self-reproach. And she masks it with her anger.
Yes.
She masks it with her with the way she treats other people, with her haughtiness, with her looking down on other people. She's grossly insecure because she's never healed from all this stuff. And so she's a dangerous combination of anger, power, and misplaced contempt for all men, and appropriate contempt for the world government, the celestial dragons, the Marines, and the Navy. She's a tyrant. She is. I don't care any way you look at it. Boa is a tyrant, and she's going to be until she heals. Okay? We understand how she got where she got.
Yes.
It is still inexcusable. She has hit a point in her life where she's responsible for her actions. She can't blame her childhood anymore. We can understand how she got to where she's at, but she's got to take responsibility for the way she treats everybody. She has to. Okay. This is why I went so light on Amazon Lily. There's a section of story I am waiting for. There's a section of story I have been waiting for since you told me about it. And I think you know what it is. The story behind Diaper Boy.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering.
I've been
Sorry.
waiting, and I've been waiting 600 chapters for this story. And for a moment, in fact, if we go back in the Wayback Machine, like 5 videos back, I asked if he was the last member of the crew, and you said no, and that's when I made that mental click that it was Djembe, you know?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple pictures here. You'll have to flip these up, flash them. I'll download them. We've got these phenomenal panels which really show Boa going through this whole process. She goes from raw honesty, even if it means deceiving my people, I have to continue the pretense. I don't want anyone to control me ever again, right? She's sobbing as much as any others.
Yes.
Okay. And then she does the I like you, where do you want to go? I'll lend you my ship. So we get the start of healing. This is the start of the healing process right here, okay? Where she starts to show that there is humanity buried deep down inside all of the damage.
Yes.
She falls madly, immaturely in love. This is a girlish childhood crush.
Yes.
So, there's one thing that's very true about people who go through trauma at an early age is that they emotionally stop growing at the point that the trauma starts. And you've got to get to the healing before then you can catch up to whatever your chronological age is, and she needs to do that.
Yeah.
Her reaction is not the reaction of a mature 31-year-old woman. Okay. But this does become a great plot device for getting Luffy where he needs to go, right? So it serves as a great plot device.
Yeah.
But then she still manages to kick a puppy and a baby seal like a couple of frames later. Now this is great because here Oda, could he have chosen 2 more innocent creatures?
Yeah.
She's not just going to kick a puppy, she's going to kick a baby seal. Okay?
The poster child for unfairly killed.
Yes, exactly.
animals.
So just to reinforce the fact that she's not healed, that she's just started, and so then, I asked the question as I was doing the reread on this. How does Luffy move on from Marineford without breaking Hancock's heart, further harming her, and earning her wrath? And up to the point that I've read, I don't have an answer for that. And so a couple of final thoughts. We get Gloriosa found the sisters wandering after they escaped the celestial dragons, and Hancock exclaiming, "You never let me forget it." I thought that was hysterical, right? And, it's like the old, the New York grandmother, I stayed up all night worrying about you.
Johnny, you're breaking your mama's heart.
Yeah, exactly. But it's such a common family dynamic. I would imagine
Yeah.
this takes place in Japan too. You get the power play, you get the manipulation,
I think that's from my understanding,
right?
being tangent on a tangent
Okay.
from them. You know, my wife is Asian, and while she wasn't raised by Asians, she has friends who were Asian and raised by Asians, and they are very strict households. And I've heard that there's a lot of guilt tripping in some of those households.
Oh, I believe
I'm
it.
not saying that it's... I'm not going to speak to the commonality of it,
Right.
but from what I have heard, they joke and trauma bond over it.
You know,
So I would imagine that it's very prevalent
I would-
in multiple Asian cultures.
I believe it, and I would think that that's prevalent. I think that's
prevalent in a lot of cultures, in particular.
probably every culture. There's a level of that. I think it's a human characteristic.
Mhm.
Right. So Century 2106 left a comment. And Century 2106, thank you for leaving the comment. My question for Papa Bear: what do you think about the love disease, and do you think the gag posture of Boa Hancock talking to other people was just comedic relief or something more? I think Oda Sensei took the liberty of freedom of art to express the trauma of Boa. She looked down on others, just like at the age of 12. It was the first image of men who oppressed and looked down on her, hence her intense head layback. Is it a type of coping mechanism one adapts to cope with trauma? It could be. I think it works on the house is falling apart around us. I think it works on multiple levels. I think it's comic relief. I think it was just absurd the way I looked at it. You know.
Yeah.
Is it the expression of trauma? Yes. I think the answer is yes. I think it's all taking place at one time. It just kind of like misfired with me. So, you know.
Some of the jokes just don't land.
Yeah, they don't.
There are sometimes some jokes that just don't land.
So of everything that I've shared up to this point, because this is pretty much the end of my notes, this is the end of my deep dive. I think that between the two videos, we've covered Amazon Lily thoroughly.
I think we have too.
But I hope everybody can understand why I
Should have put this up here. I should have put this here.
I hope everybody
Behind you so
understands
often.
why I glossed over this. I can't even get through this, you know. And so outside of Diaper Boy, I don't know that I'm going to address these deeper childhood trauma things if they come up. And that one's not even a childhood one, from what I remember you explaining to me.
About the diaper?
Yeah. And so, right, you know.
I brought it up because I never thought he would even
Oh, yeah.
freaking start the whole thing, alright? Balbun is very upset.
Bring him to Grandpa.
He might be hungry.
Don't bring him to Grandpa. These are empty. They've been dry for decades. They dried up when the last kid, you know, and they shrank back down to my original cup size. I don't want to change that. There's no sag. There's no sag at all. They're not pointing at the ground. They're not down by my knees. It's amazing. I can wear my belt and cinch it up without pinching the nipples. It's amazing. It's
Okay! It's one of the more unfiltered tangents I've ever heard you go on camera.
I don't know where that one came from, but let's all enjoy it. Have
I
a
don't
laugh.
either.
I'm only joking.
Hoping that
you know.
bought us time through Balbun's spit. Oh, wow.
No disrespect towards ladies. What your bodies go through birthing and through nursing is
They're crazy.
it's absolutely stunning. And most of us just watching the guys, we watch in awe. And we're like, wow.
Well, it helps when you have a medical background and you impress all the nurses by not fainting.
Yeah.
Or if you're just tough. Hey, it's difficult. I can imagine for some guys it's very difficult to watch.
It is for some guys. It wasn't for me, actually. I didn't have a problem with it. I've seen some really cool things watching C-sections. I've seen things
Yeah,
I've
that's true.
never thought I would see before.
I had to learn how to assist in delivery, so I kind of got exposed to it
Yeah.
from the medical side, and that kind of
Wow.
takes
I
a
believe
weird.
it.
Anyway, that's a tangent about babies.
So
you were saying.
I've got two other things, and they come
Yeah.
from readers, but they're not related to Amazon Lily. They came from our last video. I thought I'd cover them.
Go for it.
So are you good with Amazon Lily? Do you have anything to add?
I was good with Amazon Lily last video.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
I was very good with Amazon Lily. I said my piece. It sounded like you were kind of glossing Amazon.
I was glossing Amazon.
and I was
Lily.
like, you know what? That's fine. I can add some insight into Amazon Lily. Wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, that's okay.
That's okay.
And
Rainford will be more.
I didn't take anything as a criticism.
Now my question is, do I
really
put
didn't.
this in the playlist before our Impel Down video or after our Impel Down video?
I don't
think
care.
after.
I don't care.
I think
I
after.
really don't care. So we asked for then last thing here. And we're going to change gears. We asked for crew comparisons between the Straw Hats and the subs. I did actually. I thought it would be a cool,
And the
cool thought
and
exercise.
and the Impel Down.
Right.
crew,
And yeah. All right.
I told you.
You did. You told me on camera.
I told
You
you,
told me on
on camera
Okay.
that someone would be doing it because you asked.
So, Ozulum92, Ouzelum, Owzulum92 wrote, "Super top of the dome like for the OG crew." So the Impel Down crew, Buggy equals Usopp, on vibes of being sort of a parallel captain. I thought that was a real cool observation. Mr. Two
Mr. Tuda Sanji,
to Sanji.
Crocodile to Zoro.
Ivan, when I printed this, it didn't
didn't
copy one.
print.
Iva to Frankie,
Uh-huh.
which I thought was really interesting.
That is an interesting take.
Energy level and just a vibe of general happiness.
Frankie is just
He's
a
so
bro.
He's upbeat.
Frankie is just a bro.
Yeah.
Frankie is. You know what? Now that I think about it, I agree even more because you know who's always ready to throw down on the crew outside of like the main three. He was always ready. It's always Frankie and Brook. Frankie and Brook alongside Luffy, Zoro, Sanji are like they are always ready. They're like, oh, we're picking a fight. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I got your back. I don't need to know what we're fighting about, but you want to fight, so
yeah.
we're gonna do it.
Frankie's just ready to throw down, and Ivankov was ready to throw down. So I see that. I like that.
Ivanka's a bro even when he's not. You know,
Right?
You know?
Ready to throw down, whether he's a dude or a girl.
Mr. 3 and Chopper. Now, there was no explanations given to these. Inazuma and Brook, and then wrote, not sure about Nami.
Yeah, and no, Robin isn't in there.
No, well. Robin is not in there.
Robin and Nami are not in there.
Yeah.
But,
there was.
You know what, because it's not a 1-to-1.
No, it's not, but this was really... The fact that you took the time and put the thought into it, just kind of warms my heart, right? And then
of course, we can't include Jinbei because we know Jinbei's joining the crew.
But he's not there yet.
He's not there yet.
He's not there yet. The note on the discussion around the role of the Marines and the psychological/ideology of different types of Marines. I've been questioning for a while about the meaning significance of the line between Marines and the world government. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about that on camera.
They are two separate organizations.
And the Marines, you get... These Marines have a code that doesn't match our understanding of modern American military. I don't know about other militaries.
I think American militaries in most westernized countries in theory, I'm going to word this very carefully because I won't speak to Europeans or any other Western nations' militaries, although I have worked with several.
Right.
When I was in. They all share a generalized code, a generalized idea of not only how do they operate, but how do they function. And from what I understand, understand the colleagues across the pond have a very similar. In the United States military, in the Army specifically, we had we had warrior ethos. We had our major orders, our I don't know if you had them in the Navy, but we had our general orders.
Yeah, we have.
We had. I don't even remember how many because no one really cared about them. I was shocked that someone
After
made
boot-
a joke
after-
about knowing
after
7 of them
boot
as
camp,
a veteran.
uh,
You don't pay attention to them as much, but there's like the creed.
Right.
There's your warrior ethos, the things that you do remember, stuff
Right.
like that, and. The important thing is not to remember the individual words of it, but to remember what the words mean and what your job is.
Well,
and it's very consistent across most of them.
I was
from what I understand.
thinking along the lines of, do you disobey a direct order? I mean, to get away with disobeying a direct order in the military, you've got to have one heck of a reason. And, we were trained, follow the order, question it afterwards.
Or
Unless it's immoral or illegal.
Unless it's immoral, unless it's illegal, which that opens up a whole new can of worms.
Right,
That I don't
we're
really
not even
want-
going to talk about it.
I don't want to get into it. I
so-
don't think the One Piece, the Marines in One Piece have.
That's the point that I'm working
I don't
towards.
think they have anything like that.
No, they don't, because there's too many times. It's like the end of Logetown. Smoker telling Tashigi, you've got to develop your own code.
Yeah.
Kobe standing up to Garp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's different things, and so I think that the Marines might work alongside of the world government, but the world government has a harsher code and environment.
Well, that's where CP9 comes from.
Right.
We mentioned the CP9 was not
Marines.
Marines.
Yeah.
That was that was all world government.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mobs 6426 did the same thing. Mobs bookmarked this at the 3-minute point. That was early in the video.
Marked something a 3-minute.
Interesting thought. Let's see how far we get.
Oh, yes.
So now, Buggy Usopp, obvious parallels. So that's 2 of you that are in agreement on that. Bon Clay and Sanji. Mm-hmm. Bon and Sanji are more alike than Sanji would care to admit. That was a great comment.
It is a great comment. It is a
comment.
fantastic comment. There's loyalty with those two. Now, normally people would think loyalty was Zoro, but Sanji has a sense of loyalty that's unique from Zoro's.
Yes.
But
But that was funny. That
was a great
truly
comment.
funny. And it immediately made me think of the chapter art panel with Sanji in a dress. Right.
On Ivankov's island.
Yes.
That was Ivankov's kingdom.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Jinbei and Zoro, both stoic warriors. All right, that was an interesting observation. Iva and Nami.
Okay, interesting.
The voice of discipline. So Mobs gave thoughts behind it. His or her thoughts.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yes, there's some disagreement, but that's interesting.
Mr. 3 and Chopper.
Okay.
Again, this is 2 of you, right? Yep. Okay. Croc and Frankie. Croc is just handy to have around and gets all the ladies. You see why I had
also looks amazing in the live action. Not to get into it.
I just saw the peak, and Crab and Brooke. I forget Crab Guy's gal's name, but I can be forgiven for comparing them to Brooke.
Scissors Guy?
I was wondering.
That's Inazuma.
Inazuma?
It's
is that Crab Guy is Inazuma?
I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Slice fruit, snip fruit, or whatever it is.
And then Boa and Robin. Because they did the calm infiltration. I mean, there was a lot of thought put into this.
That was
truly,
good.
Mobs,
That's
you nailed this one. You really did. So
I think I still like. I think I still like for Uzalum's. I like the Ivankov Frankie.
Yes.
vibe a
Yes.
little bit more than I would agree with the but no, those are really well
Okay.
thought out.
These are well
I
thought
like
out.
these
yeah.
these are enjoyable.
That
These
was
are
just good.
enjoyable.
Thank
I
you
love those.
both for sending us that. I truly enjoyed it.
That was awesome.
So that's my deep dive on Amazon Lily. I hope it gave everybody what you're looking for. The beautiful part is that it reminded me I need to reset and I need to give this level of detail with Marineford.
Marineford is going to be a big one. I
Yeah.
can just
Yeah, that might be a two-parter.
that might be filmed in 2 separate chunks. It's squished together.
Yeah, or
I don't think we can string them along for a 2-parter.
I don't know. If it's
I'm
true.
just
I know
gonna
I will
keep
need
it.
a break in filming. I know. That.
I will too. Yeah.
So, anyways, so what are your thoughts? Here's the question I have for everybody. Did I? For those of you who thought we glanced over it, did I give you what you were looking for? If not, what were you looking for? What do you think I missed? And we'll just go from there.
Because we might go, inevitably when we get caught up,
Yes,
we might look back at some stuff.
I'm sure we will.
We will probably look back at stuff.
I'm sure we will.
Probably in more general themes as they go throughout the story.
Yeah.
But it is a lot easier to read this in batches when you've already read it. And you
Yes.
just are like...
Start connecting the dots.
Because you start paying attention to the stuff that you
Yeah.
don't need to pay as much attention to. Your brain's on autopilot
Right.
reading it,
Yeah.
and you start to notice all the details. It's
Yeah.
great. So, so maybe more revisits will be in the future. We don't know.
I am
Marineford's
sure.
going to
So,
be huge.
but yeah, that's this episode of Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, if you like the content that we're providing, please consider hitting it. Sign up for notifications. We are closing in on 8,000 followers, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
That's I find it hard to believe, but it's humbling. And thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
All right.
And
That's
that'll
it.
do it.
See you next time.
Bye.